Leeds International School Form 2 First Midterm English Language. Full stops and sentences. Pages 84 and 85. Oxford Grammar to 14 book. Hello my dear Form 2 students. First, let's look at the objectives of today's lesson. To recall the lessons learned about punctuation and sentences. To introduce the basic concept of a sentence and types of sentences. To give an idea how to punctuate sentences. To give a clear idea about the use of the full stop and comma. These are the objectives of this lesson. To start with, let's look at the meaning of sentence. Actually, what is a sentence? The meaning given in your book and the accepted one is a sentence is the basic unit of meaning in any piece of writing. Okay, so a sentence is the basic unit, the smallest unit of meaning. So we understand that a sentence should be meaningful. If what you have written is not meaningful, it is not considered as a complete sentence. So when we write in sentences in English language, there are 4 sentence types. The first one is declarative sentence. That means a sentence or a statement which is used to give information or an idea. Now the example given here is, a lie told often enough becomes the truth. This is a declarative sentence. The second type is interrogative sentence. That means a sentence you use to ask a question. Now the example given here is, what is history but a fable agreed upon? So this is a question or an interrogative sentence. The third type of sentence is imperative sentence. An imperative sentence gives a command. Look at the example given. Get in your tanks. So it's a command. We call such sentences imperative sentences. How you recognize an imperative sentence is by looking at the first word. The first word is usually a verb. Fourth type of sentence is exclamatory sentence, which means a sentence which expresses an emotion. Ouch, that hurts. So that's an exclamatory sentence. These are the 4 types of sentences in English language. Now let's discuss how to punctuate a sentence in the correct way. A sentence begins with a capital letter and ends with a full stop or a question mark or an exclamation mark. Okay, so I'll repeat that you have to begin a sentence with a capital letter. That's a must. And then you have to end a sentence with either a full stop, a question mark or an exclamation mark. Look at these 3 sentences. People need food. How are you? Look out. Now the first sentence, is a declarative sentence. You can see that it begins with a capital P as the first letter and it ends with a full stop because it's a declarative sentence. The second one, how are you? This is a question or an interrogative sentence. So we start it with a capital H and end with a question mark. The last one is an exclamatory sentence. So we begin it with the capital L and finishes it with an exclamation mark. Now let's practice. I'm going to give you a small exercise to check whether you have understood what we discussed clearly. Put in the correct punctuation marks to end the given sentences. I'll repeat. Put in the correct punctuation marks to end the given sentences. So in the next slide, there are some sentences. You have to read them and put the full stop, question mark or the exclamation mark in the proper way. Now let's look at the exercise. Yes. Sentence 1. Are we going swimming? Number 2. He exclaimed, what a fantastic house you have. Number 3. The River Thames is in London. Number 4. You're French, aren't you? Number 5. My favorite drink is lemonade. Number 6. The Avengers film was awesome. 7th one. Pablo Picasso was a famous painter. Number 8. Who wants lunch? 9th one. Have you ever been to China? And the last sentence. What a nice day. Now, try to end these sentences in the correct way by using a full stop, question mark or an exclamation mark. Okay, I hope you have done it. Now let's discuss the answers. Are we going swimming? This is a question. So you need to end it with a question mark. He exclaimed, what a fantastic house you have. So this expresses an emotion. So it's an exclamatory sentence and end it with an exclamation mark. River Thames is in London. This is a declarative sentence. So we have to finish it with a full stop. You're French, aren't you? It's a question or an interrogative sentence. So we have to end it with a question mark. My favorite drink is lemonade. This is a declarative sentence. So we finish it with a full stop. The Avengers film was awesome. This expresses an emotion. Therefore, it's an exclamatory sentence and we have to finish it with an exclamation mark. Pablo Picasso was a famous painter. This is a declarative sentence and ends with a full stop. Who wants lunch? It's an interrogative sentence. So we have to complete it with a question mark. Have you ever been to China? This again is a question or an interrogative sentence. So we have to end it with a question mark. What a nice day. This expresses an emotion. It's an exclamatory sentence. So we have to end it with an exclamation mark. I hope all of you have done it correctly. So congratulations. Listening to the sense. When you have finished writing a complete sentence, it should be recognizable or meaningful, or in another way, it should be understood. It is easy to do this by listening to the sense of what you have written. You should feel that you have told what you wanted to say and that you are going to say something new in your next sentence. You can do this by reading your own sentence and listening to it while reading. Then try to understand whether it's understood, whether it's meaningful. Then if you feel satisfied, you can keep the full stop and finish your sentence. Then start the next sentence in which you are going to say something new. Incorrect commas instead of full stops. This is a common error. Most of the children tend to use the wrong punctuation mark when they are writing sentences. It is wrong to use a comma instead of a full stop when you have finished writing a complete sentence. Okay, that means when you read it, when you are listening to the sense of it, if it is meaningful and if it is completed, you should end it with a full stop. Do not put a comma and continue with the next sentence. That is called incorrect comma instead of full stop. Let's learn it furthermore with an exercise. Rewrite each sentence as two separate sentences. So in the following sentences, you have one long sentence and you have to rewrite this sentence in two separate meaningful sentences. Now let's look at those sentences. Sentence number 1. I sometimes go for long walks on summer evenings. It is peaceful and I can exercise the family pet dog. Number 2. We have a dog, a cat, 2 gerbils, a hamster and a budgie. They all get on very well together. Number 3. The hamster tends to keep us awake at night. Her exercise wheel squeaks as she moves. The last sentence. My sister's budgie can say a few words. Most of them are cheeky and impolite. Now let's look at these sentences again. I sometimes go for long walks on summer evenings. You can see the comma there, but it's unnecessary. You can finish that sentence with a full stop because it gives complete meaning. I sometimes go for long walks on summer evenings. Full stop. Then begin the next sentence with a capital I. It is peaceful and I can exercise the family pet dog. Full stop. Let's look at the second sentence. We have a dog, a cat, 2 gerbils, a hamster and a budgie. Full stop. Because it's a complete sentence. Then start the next one with capital T. They all get on very well together. Full stop. The hamster tends to keep us awake at night. It's complete and meaningful. So, you don't have to put the comma there. You can end that sentence with a full stop. Then start the next one with capital H. Her exercise wheel squeaks as she moves. Last sentence. My sister's budgie can say a few words. Full stop. Capital M. Most of them are cheeky and impolite. So I hope you understood the meaning of using the incorrect comma. One more exercise. Write out the following passage. Think about where each sentence starts and finishes. Put in the capital letters and full stops. Jane. See, you can see the simple J there. So, start with the capital J. Jane sat down to do her homework. The phone rang. She jumped up, rushed down the stairs and picked up the receiver. It was a friend wanting some advice about how to do the assignment. Their English teacher had handed out the piece was due in the next day. Jane chatted for a while, then she returned to her room to finish her homework. So, I hope you all can do this alone by using the capital letters to begin your sentences. Then end these sentences sensibly with a full stop. It's time to do the exercises in your book. Turn to page 85 and you will find starting point, going further and further still exercises. I am sure now you are capable of doing them on your own. So, it's time to do those exercises now. As we have come to the end of the lesson, I am going to summarize what we learned today. First, we learned that a sentence is the basic unit of meaning in any piece of writing. And we also learned that there are 4 types of sentences: declarative sentences, interrogative sentences, imperative sentences, and exclamatory sentences. We also learned that a sentence begins with a capital letter and ends with either a full stop, question mark, or an exclamation mark. And it is important to listen to the sense of the sentence. You have to listen and see whether what you have written is meaningful. And we also learned that it is wrong to use a comma instead of a full stop when you have finished writing a complete sentence. So this is the summary of this lesson, and I hope that all of you were able to understand it clearly. So that's it. We have come to the end of the lesson. Thank you all for watching.